you showing off? Wow. Or are you showing off? Wow.
No. I love Trump. I love my Patriots. I love my Patriots. Hello, folks. It's Sunday. Hyena's here to bless everybody. Want to give a blessing? Oh, she's in a blessing mood, people. Everybody's getting a hyena blessing today. Everybody, even the people I hate. Because Hyena is a wonderful dog, a Pekingese. And I want to do something before I forget it. I want to thank Hand of Doom for giving to my prisoner talk 3 or 4 times. Jen and Clint and Tammy. Thank you so much. And I'll be talking to Paul later today about it. And as I've told you, I don't know if I have, the prisoners get together and put what they can together for Thanksgiving and Christmas to make them nice little meals. So the money will be used for the prisoners, and I'll be talking to Paul today. And what I don't give to the prisoners, I'll be giving to an animal defense league. So I have some things to straighten out. Hello, Christopher. Hello, Dana. Hello, Sly. Hello, Tammy. So glad to see y'all here. I'm not wearing a filter, so I hope this face doesn't scare you too much. But I have some things to straighten out about a pool stick. As you know, on GPEC, 7 likes so far. Smash the like button and subscribe. I'm going to give Jen a wrench, only for her protection. We'll see how it works out. Well, I can't, Jen, unless you go to unless I do it on YouTube, so you're going to have to wait. But nobody block Jen, please, unless she gets out of hand. So anyway, I'm going to straighten the stuff up about Pool Stick. As you know, Pool Stick has made a big, big deal out of his chat being open, and he wants to get along with everybody. And he's going to get rid of people in his chat that drag families or talk about family members. But he was going to take this blanket apology from all of them and start out fresh. And we all got that? Do we all agree on that? Those are his words. Well, I never heard any apologies from anybody, and I don't really care, because usually an apology that comes from somebody that does that doesn't mean anything, but it's his room. He can do what he wants. But he has the worst of the worst in his chat, and we all know that that is Maria. Oh, yeah. So somebody was in there the other day complaining about Brittany. I got to have proof. I got to have proof that it just happened. Well, Pool Stick, I've got the proof that Maria has dragged Johnny Mac's wife, Tabitha, within the last week. And I sent you every one of the clips, and I'm prepared to prove it right now. And then just yesterday, she sent a screenshot, because she didn't have the nerve to post it, but she sent a screenshot to somebody that knows me, and they sent it to me, and I sent that to you, and that was about one of Sophie's family members. So Pool Stick, Put up or shut up. You are a lowlife. You don't mean what you say ever. You weren't grateful when I sent cash apps. You said you were going to give the money to an animal shelter, which you never did, but that's water under the bridge. This big grand plan of yours of letting everybody in your chat, as long as they didn't act for it, ain't worth jack shit, just like you and I. You're both lowlifes. You and Maria belong together. I hope this isn't any kind of hint how Cubans act, because I sent you the proof and I'm willing to show it right now. I sent this guy the proof on his email, and then he had a snotty little thing to come back at me. So get out of this. Get out of this. And I'm not going to show you the screenshot close, because I'll read to you what it says, and I'm not going to show you the screenshot close because it's one of Sophie's relatives, and I don't do that. I said, my informant received this today, and this is dated. Anyway, here it is. It's the pool stick. Yesterday. Says right on there, yesterday. My informant received this today to post because Maria doesn't want to get caught, what she's known for. Sophie's husband, who has never been on YouTube or spoken. This is the vile person she is. Your actions will speak volumes on what kind of person you say you're trying to be. So, pool stick, here's the proof. Here's a screenshot that I sent you yesterday about what, and I'm going to hold it way back there. I hope none of you can see it, but right there's a screenshot. She sent this to one of my informants. Well, not my informants, but somebody that my informant knew. And now, this says more proof Maria was running that mouth. And this was also sent yesterday. And there's two of the clips that I sent him. And I'm going to play one of them for you right now. So don't let him try to act like he didn't have proof and like it was something old. This shit just happened.
My husband wanted to go to court to see somebody up in court. That you already know what happened. That's a cheap ass thing. That would be a no. That would be a no. But I noticed that the wife likes to do the same thing that he does.
The wife would be Tabitha.
If my husband wanted to go to court.
Why don't you try going to court, Maria? Let me tell you something. I don't know how much legalese you people know, but she's dodging a serving right now. You can dodge it for a while, Maria, but eventually they're going to give John Yates a default judgment. And you're not only going to have to pay your fake attorney fees, but you're going to have to pay his. So why don't you tell the people what you're doing with that $1,000 you got? Because you don't have an attorney. I watched all John Yates stuff. He called every single person proving. And Pool Stick, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about this proof right in your stupid face? I should have known better than to believe anything you said. You never put the money to an animal shelter like you said you would. The cash apps are still on my community page, but I overlooked it. And then when you started this, well, I'm going to start a whole new chat and let everybody in as long as they don't drag people. Well, here's your wonderful Maria, sending, dragging John. And this was only like 3 days after he made his big announcement. How he said, I got to have proof. Well, here's your proof, Pool Stick. After you ran your mouth. No, he shouldn't have done it at all. There's no way. I can have an open chat because I don't even go live that often. I have an open chat. Everybody's getting along good. I don't see a problem with it, but I would not get on here and say, well, I'm going to have an open chat. But if anybody's in my chat that ever did families or anything like that, then I'm going, hi, Rolex and race cars. Getting in bed with Maria. God bless that crazy Cuban. I know it. Well, they're both Cubans, so maybe they've all got some kind of genetic something going on. Who knows? And I'll play you the other clip I sent him. I sent him 8 or 10 clips, people, and he did nothing. Here's all the other clips I sent him. Look at them. I sent him all these yesterday of Maria running her mouth about Johnny Mac's wife. And we all know I'm not no big fan of Johnny Mac's, but I love Tabitha. And I got very close to her. And Rolex and Joey Dimes can tell you how well I talked about his wife. So there you go, Pull Stick. There you go. I sent them. They're all to you. L said 305. Look, L said 305. I sent them yesterday. It says yesterday from me, but I bet she's still in your chat. And how are you going to justify that, Mr. I mean what I say and I never lie? How are you going to justify that? I don't care about you, really. I never was good friends with you like I am Rolex and Joey. Never going to happen. I go in whoever's thing I feel like going in. And I do get a little sick of all the gay talk. I think that's getting a little carried away. Mac's the weirdo, not the wife. I know, but the only thing is, I don't know what the wife sees in him. Because the kids are grown now. I wouldn't tolerate that for 2 minutes. I'm going to put my red Trump hat on today. Because I have a red dress on that Nancy absolutely hates. And I want everybody to know, Jules, thank you for calling my channel out. It got back to me that it did. But I'm going to read what the Pull Stick said on my community tab because he was so upset over the little thing I put up of him and Maria being lowlifes. And I played Kid Rock's song, Lowlife, because I love Kid Rock. And he, of course, didn't like it. Well, there's your proof, Pull Stick. And everybody that's watching this knows that I sent you the emails yesterday of 2 things she was trying to drag. Sophie's family members, and I have never known Sophie to ever post a family member. Hand of Doom, thank you so much for your Cash App. Thank you, Tammy, for your Cash App. Thank you, Jen Clamp, for your Cash Apps. I am so happy to get them. I'm going to talk to Paul about how he can use the money for these holidays, either to give a prisoner popping in to check things out. Okay, I'm getting ready to show you what the vile Pull Stick had to say. I put this on my community tab. I'll let you see it. I put exposing the truth. There they are. And I put lowlifes. See that? Okay, this is what Pull Stick said. If you want to call me a lowlife, go ahead. Just words, baby. No, it's not just words. It's a truth. And I just fucking showed it. Like I did the time he didn't tell me thank you for the Cash Apps. I showed that too. So it's not just words. It's proof. And I just showed the proof. And if I have to, I will play every one of those clips where Maria was running her mouth about Tabitha. And then I said, I don't believe in Christmas. I'm an atheist. If the shoe fits, wear it. Good luck with your channel. And he said, no problem, Your Highness, but the shoe don't fit. Happy New Year then. I think even atheists believe in Happy New Year's. And then I said, the shoe fits. I sent you emails proving Maria has been going after families as recently as today. That's all I needed to know. So if the shoe fits, lace that bitch up and wear it. You made your bed, lay in it. Good luck. You'll need it. No hard feelings. It is what it is. So there you go, Pull Stick. How you going to combat this truth staring you right in your face? Because if I have to, I'll play every one of them clips. I didn't want to play them again because I don't like to hear Tabitha get dragged. That's one thing I've never done, and I don't care how much I despise Johnny Mac or FBS. I will never talk about their wives. Never. It'll never happen. And I don't even despise Sophie. I just couldn't believe she went back with Johnny Mac after he put all her shit out there. That's just a personal peeve that I have. If somebody has a real bad problem with somebody, I don't I don't believe in apologies that much. I don't think they mean anything. But Sophie has never put out a family member either. Never. And for stupid ass Maria to send that screenshot to somebody and ask them to post it, because of course she doesn't want to get caught posting it. Of course she doesn't. But let me tell you something, Maria. Your little run, I ran from law, but the law won. You can only play that dodging the subpoenas. I've been divorced 6 times. They will serve them. And if they don't, and if you keep playing this game, you're going to, John Yates is going to win by default, and you're going to wind up paying his lawyer. And since you don't want to tell anybody what you did with the money, and I will tell everybody what I've done with my money, hand to doom, Jen, Tammy, I am going to talk to Paul today. I'm going to tell him how much is in there. I said, would it be better if I just put it on your books and you use it, which I think is better because I don't have any way to get in there and see who needs it the most. And I trust him, and he's my light, and I'm really feeling love towards him. So, Paul, Maria likes to get into bed with married men. Yeah, let's talk about that. Since well, Poostick don't really care about marriage or anything. He's not even married, but she had, what about the little trip she took over there to see the Muslim guy? I don't know about that. That was before I knew her. No family members for anyone. Practice what you preach, ladies and gents. You're welcome, Jane Lee. So anyway, I wanted to get the shit straightened out with Poolstick, so because I'm not really going to watch him. I quit going in his chat because I didn't like anybody in his chat when a bee was in there. And let me tell you something, Poolstick. You think you pulled a smart move by getting rid of that bee? Maria is the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst, because I don't think the bee has ever posted a family member. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think she has ever posted a family or a family member, but he's friends with Johnny Mac, who has posted several family members. In fact, he sent me pictures I could show you for days. So he's friends with Johnny Mac, a backstabber, a midget. The midget's not his fault. So now he's friends with Maria, the worst of the worst, and let him come back from that, people. I showed it on my channel. There are 10 clips. I can play them right now of her dragging Tabitha, not 2 days after he made his big declaration. If they've apologized, then, well, she never apologized to me, Poolstick. Has anybody ever heard Maria apologize for anything? If you have, say something. Because I've known her for 5 years. I've never known her to say she was sorry one time. And she posted my granddaughters. She always says she does it in retaliation, but that's not even an excuse. Because I wouldn't face family members, post them for even retaliation. But I owned a Reddit page, and somebody posted on there, and she held me accountable for that. And I didn't even know her stupid daughter was on there. And she turned around and posted my grandkids and never said she was sorry. Not one time, not ever, not for anything. She's a vile female. She's a Cuban. So maybe this tells us something about the Cubans. I don't know that many. These are the only 2 I know. Flip-flopping is a year-round event on YouTube. Hi, Ready Randy. Yeah, it is, but it's not with me. Name one time I flip-flopped. Any of you. Name it. Name one time I have ever flip-flopped. Never happened. Never happened and never will. When somebody has done something bad enough to me, then I'm done. I'm done. Oh, and now we're going to talk about the dog abusers. Antifreeze assassin. Jules added that name. Antifreeze assassin has went undercover, but it didn't have anything to do with her dog business. It's got to do with all the lies she told to a family that I'm not even going to bring up. And the other one, the poodle kicker, I heard she did a show and she had maybe 40 people in there. You can't come back from animal abuse, people. And of course, I'm not going to leave Pizza out of that. Even though Pizza's been talking good about me lately, he knows that I can't get past the dog abuse. That's just one thing I can't get past. Hyena, where'd she go? Hyena, come here, honey. Get up here. You want to forgive Pizza? Hmm? How about it? You want to forgive Pizza? No? Nope. There's your answer, pizza. Hyena forgives everybody, but not dog. You're a stand-up lady. Maria looks like she. Oh, let me tell you a story about Maria and her dog. She's not above animal abuse either. She was up on the antifreeze assassins panel. And she was talking about this dog she had that she just hated, but it was her husband's favorite dog. And the assassin says, well, just give it to me. I'll throw it out in traffic. And Maria laughed. I said, oh, that sounds like a great idea. Does that sound like a wonderful woman? Plus all the proof I showed on Pull Stick that he is not a man of his word. He's not a man of anything. You got rid of the hive and you got worse in there now. Worse. Because that woman has dragged every single bottom feeder there is. And if I've missed any, let me know. Because as far as I know, she has put all their family members out. She has called the cops 50 times on John Yates at least. She is unredeemable. Who's antifreeze? Let one of the people in the chat tell you who antifreeze is. Thank you for putting the links in there, Sly. Thank you so much. And what was I talking about? I've got a story time to tell, but I didn't want to start my story time until I got all this other stuff off my chest. And I'm going to prove to you again that yesterday I sent this email. So if he gets on there and says, well, I haven't checked my email out. Well, check it out, Pull Stick. Because I got the proof. Your little Maria was doing shit right after you made the big speech. Nobody's going to be allowed in this chat if they're dragging families. And I need proof. I need proof. Well, here's the proof. Right there. I sent them all yesterday. All the clips of her running her mouth about Johnny Mac's wife. Not 2 days after he made the big announcement about there would be, according to me and the bottom feeders, Sophie and I would be the only ones allowed in his chat because we're the only ones that haven't done that I know of. And the bee, I'd never heard of the bee doing that. She's done some other shit that's pretty despicable, but I've never heard of her posting a family member anywhere. So there you go, Pull Stick. There's the damn proof. All those clips of her running her mouth.
Not only was he cheating on her, but he's like, honey, can we find out if she's going to court, or can we find out if we can go to the cemetery after and just smoke some more?
Oh, and let me straighten the story up about the cemetery, since Miss Maria thinks she knows everything. Jen did not even know about that cemetery call. She didn't even know about it. It was made to me on my phone, and I'm not a recorder. So I had to do it by memory. He called, said he was crying at a cemetery and he was getting ready, not with a gun, he was getting ready to overdose because Jan did this, gave him the hand emoji. It wasn't no breakup or nothing else. It was as simple as Jan giving him a hand emoji. Then when I didn't give him any sympathy, I said, go ahead, do it. Do it. If you're that stupid, do it. Then he called another friend of mine up. Well, he actually didn't call her. He sent her the screenshots that are on my community page right now with the cemetery picture he sent her. So this went no farther than between me and Jen and Mac. And I would have never brought it up if he wouldn't started running his mouth about me, because I think too much of Tabitha to let her know that her little midget husband was willing to off himself over another girl. That's how decent of a person I am. And I still think a lot of Tabitha, but she is what she is. She's who she's with. Maybe there's something about him we don't know. And if you get a chance, please watch Chicago Muscles channel. It was wonderful. Pizza was up there. He said again that there was no fight, that Johnny Mac never put his hands on FBS, that FBS was beat up when Johnny Mac got there. Go listen to it. Don't take my word for it. If somebody has got Chicago Muscles link to that worldwide channel, drop it in my contents right now. Yeah, I am truthful, Beck. And I don't know how come. Well, you don't catch a live from me because I barely do lives. And I'm not going to make a habit of this either, people. I'm doing this mainly because I heard some people saying that I was grifting now because of my Cash App and my PayPal. Well, I don't know how to grift, people. I don't know how to do it. I guess I'd have to take lessons from FBS to learn how to grift. I am just asking for a cause because I've dealt with a lot of prisoners. I am really starting to fall for Paul. And he told me about this wonderful program they have where he's at, where for Thanksgiving and Christmas, they put their money together and they make wonderful meals. They can get special food that they can't get the rest of the year. So I think if I had, and guess what? Maria gave me the idea for it because she said I wanted her lives. Well, I don't know how Terry Time has to pay prisoners to talk to her. No, I don't, Maria. No, I don't. But since you're so worried about my money, I thought, what a wonderful thing for a Cash App, prison talk. And then I don't have to use my money. And it'd be a good thing for prisoners at holidays to be able to have this wonderful dinner they have and call home and call to their people. And the extra money I will send to the Animal Defense League of Texas. And animal abusers don't even think about coming back. Antifreeze assassin and the poodle kicker. And I heard a poodle kicker tell that story with my own ears. And she still thinks it's funny to this day. So those two are dead to me. Have been, will be. Pull stick, we'll see what happens if you do anything about this proof that I just showed. I sent those emails yesterday, people, and you heard what he said to me on my community tab. That it's just words, that he's a lowlife. No, it's not just words. You are a lowlife. You and Maria both are Lula. You hooked up with the lowest bottom feeders that you could possibly find. That's who you hooked up with. And I hope you go down with them because she is going to get served. And if she doesn't, it's going to go to John Yates by default. And then she'll put up another big GoFundMe to try to get money to pay his lawyer. She don't even have a lawyer. Where'd her money go? Don't worry about where my money's going. I'll prove where mine goes. It's going to go right on the phone, and then it's going to go right on Paul's commissary. Preach. You better believe I preach. There's not very many good bottom feeders, and any of them that are in here, Sly, Tammy, and they're not really bottom feeders. They know that I have been against the bottom feeders since day one. Day fucking one, because they've all called cops, and I will not call a cop. And I'm going to tell you another story besides the one being tied in the woods, besides the one where my daughter's husband put me in intensive care, another one before that, and I still never called the cops. There is no reason to ever call a cop, and I don't care if it's because I'm 72 years old or 90 years old. That is just the rules I was brought up by. You never call cops. There's Clark Kent. What about me, Clark? She killed those dogs, Clark. Antifreeze killed the dogs. And thank you, Sly, so much. No cop calling. I know, Rolex. I know that. And I don't know where Carlos is. Carlos is not in our inside with you and Joey, but he's making his way in there. So if anybody don't like Carlos, tough shit. Pull stick, what are you going to do about the proof? Blabbing your mouth off, you wanted the proof. Right there it is. Everybody saw it that was in this chat, and the people that aren't in here, I'm sure, are going to run back and tell you about it. If you get a chance, somebody, Sly, can you go look up Chicago Muscles World, whatever it's called, World Team World, because everybody needs to watch that because they call Johnny Mac out on this fake fight stuff. It's really good. It's worth seeing. So please drop a link, any of you that have it. I think it's called Team Muscle Worldwide or something, and just drop the link because I think people need to watch that. It was really, really good. It was eye-opening to me. I'll tell you that. I always thought that Mac never touched him. You think he'll overlook it, Celia? There you go. Dana got it. Thank you, Dana. Pull stick as he has. Pull stick might ignore it, but if he does, everybody in his chat ought to call Maria out because I have the proof and I'll send it to anybody that wants it. I'll send them the screenshot. I'll send them any clip I have. So if any of the people in his chat really think he's going to go by what he's preaching, ask me and I will send you the proof of that loudmouth piece of shit. And I even posted where she put my granddaughters up. I blacked their faces out. I never did a thing to her. Nothing. Okay. I am going to go on to a story time now. When I was married to my first husband, and he wasn't my true love was in Vietnam. That I caught him right to another girl. So automatically I picked another man because that's what I do. I go from man to man to man to man to man. That's just the way I am. Not ashamed of it. I hope when you ladies get 72, you can pick up all the men that I pick up because it's fun. And as far as the tranny thing goes, that Chicago and I were supposed to talk about today, I wrote him a wonderful email and told him, Muscle, the only way I knew MRE was as Rustin. I have never heard MRE call me a tranny. In fact, the only person I heard call me a tranny was Muscle, so I told him that I thought he could probably talk more about it than I could. Because I don't really care if they call me a tranny or not. If they get joy out of calling me a tranny, then go ahead and call me a tranny. I do not care. But anyway, to show you how much of a non-cop caller I am. My true love was in Vietnam. I caught him right into another girl. So I married another guy very quickly. But it was a guy I knew named Jack Kennedy. And I have wedding pictures of him. And I'll post them because everything I say is true. So we get married. He lived in Santa Barbara, California. And we go to California. And I stayed with him maybe 2 days. And I took off with a Greyhound bus driver. And we went up into Oregon and Washington and Canada and Vancouver. And then when we came back, I was gone about 2 weeks with this Greyhound bus driver. When we got back, I walked up to the house and Jack was standing there and he said, where the fuck have you been? And I said, fuck this, I'm leaving. And I turned around and walked out. Never went back. Started stripping at a place called Little Annie's and another place called Aladdin's. Well, my whole life, I have loved bikers. When other girls like Elvis Presley and Fabian and all these singers, I had pictures of Hell's Angels in my room. I wanted a biker. I wanted to be a biker chick. That's all I cared about. That's all I ever wanted to be. So I was working at the strip joints. And this guy asked me on a date. And I knew there was a biker club on Figaro Street called the Circle F where the Warlocks hung out. So I told him to take me there and he didn't really want to. And I said, well, that's what I really want to do. I want to go hang with some bikers. So he takes me there and right away they're putting a nervous feeling on him. And he said, well, I'm leaving. You can stay if you want to, but I'm leaving. Well, I could see they were putting stuff in my drinks. And I don't know if any of you are old enough to have ever heard of the drug mescaline, but that's what they were putting in my drinks. And I noticed it. So I wasn't really drinking the drinks. I was kind of messing around like I do when I smoke joints because I can't smoke a joint. I just pretend. And then finally I told everybody I can't inhale. I can goddamn give a head job like you wouldn't believe. I don't have no gag reflex, but I cannot inhale. So I just kind of pretended to drink and I started thinking, how am I going to get out of here? Because it was full of bikers. I thought, oh my God, I've got to make a way to get out of here. This is not going to end good. So anyway, finally, this one biker said, and these were the Warlocks, he said, you want to take a ride on my Harley? And I'm thinking, yeah, I can get on a Harley with him and maybe I can get away. Just one guy would be easier than getting away from 30 guys. So we walked out the back door, and when we did, every one of them bikers followed us out. Well, the women in the meantime had all disappeared out of the bar. They were gone. The bartender looked at me like, adios. So we get out there, they pull the clothes off of me. They attempted an R on me, but actually none of them could get it hard. They couldn't do anything, but they were kicking me around, kicking me in the head, kicking me in the ribs. I'm totally naked. I'm laying out there in this parking lot and I'm thinking, this is it. This is the end of me and my biker days right here. Out then, I will never, never forget this as long as I live. This brown station wagon showed up and a guy was putting papers in the paper racks. I don't know if any of you young folks remember, but there used to be paper racks. I don't even know if there's any left now. So he was getting the bundles of newspapers out of that station wagon and putting them in those racks. And I saw him. And then the same time I saw him, I saw a van coming around behind the bar with the women in it that had left. So I knew they were getting ready to put me in that van and who knows what. So I took off running as fast as I could to that guy putting the newspapers in there. And I thought, he's going to leave. He's going to shut his doors and leave because there was like 20 bikers standing there. He didn't. He wrapped his arms around me. He threw his coat around me. He threw me in the car and he drove me straight to the emergency room. So I get in the emergency room and they do a rape kit and they're interviewing me. And they bring this lineup in. And guess what? I didn't identify anybody because even back then, when I was only 21 years old, I still had it in me never to call a cop. And what good would it, and I couldn't identify them anyway because there was too many. What good would it have done for me to identify a couple of them and then try to live in Santa Barbara and be a stripper and not have them catch up with me? So I said, I'm sorry, detective. I don't recognize any of them. They all look the same. Sorry. Well, that detective threw a fit. Through his clipboard. Well, it's girls like you, the reason we can't ever get a handle on these guys because you won't testify and you'd have wound up in the woods down a canyon somewhere as a missing person. I never identified any of them, ever. I would see them come in the strip club. I didn't even act like I knew who they were. I was thankful to be alive. That's how much I'm not a cop caller compared to you other. Oh, and then if you listen to Chicago's show, and I believe me, you're going to love it. Johnny Mack was not going to do a baker's act on pizza. He wanted him arrested because Mike Slick had the things. So Johnny Mack is a cop caller for sure. FBS is a cop caller. That's for sure. I know these men call cops like it's a dime a dozen. The women all call cops for wellness checks or whatever they want to do. I think Maria probably called the cops on John Yates 70 times altogether. And now she's trying to slip and slide around. Well, it ain't going to work, Maria. It ain't going to work. Pretty soon they're going to rule for John Yates by default. And you're going to wind up paying his attorney. And don't think you're getting any of my prison talk money. Oh, no, Maria, you're going to get exactly what you deserve because you've done stuff to everybody in the bottom feeder community. Every single person, including me. And none of the rest of them ever have. None of the rest of them have tried to call or go real life on me. Not one of them, not the worst one. They've all left me alone. Because you know why? Because I don't do that shit to them. And I didn't do it to you either. So go ahead, pull stick. Justify having that piece of shit in your chat. And acting like you got such an open chat and you've changed. You ain't changed a bit. And go listen to the Chicago show because you're going to find out some stuff that you never knew. And I didn't know. But one thing they all agreed on about Johnny, if he calls you in the morning, you're going to be on there for an hour listening to him whine about something, killing Gunsmoke, killing FBS or somebody. Hi, Carlos. Hi, Carlos. And be nice to Jen. She's on her best behavior. Anyway, so I was in the hospital with these detectives. They got the line up. I went up to the detective station. They lined a bunch of them bikers up. And I said, I don't recognize any of them. Sorry, I don't know them. And then my dad called me. And I was loving it out there. I got to know Sinbad. I got to be with Kenny Bernstein. I had sex with him, the drag guy. And he was short. I don't think he was as short as Mac, but he was a short guy. But I still did it because after all, he was famous. And so finally my dad called. He got a hold of me. They had a hard time finding me. And he said, You need to come home if you care anything about your family because your mother had breast cancer. So I went home back where I was from, took my mother for radiation, married my true love from Vietnam. We didn't make it. We weren't together 2 years. But that's another story of when I got myself jammed up, but I never called the cops. I don't have any inkling to call the cops. I didn't call anybody the day Johnny Mac called and said he was suicidal. I didn't even call the cops. I just said, do it. Do it or call somebody that cares. If you're so upset over Jen Bailey doing this, when you have a wonderful wife, because I've talked to Tabitha and she is wonderful. Good morning. It's lovely to meet you. Oh, everybody, Jen's in here and she's acting wonderful. Like I know she can, like I know she will. And I really don't have much else to say. I'm just going to show the proof once again. So in case Pooh Stick tries to slide over this, there's the picture I put of him. And I played Low Life with by Kid Rock. That's who he wants to be with, the 2 Cubans. I hope I meet another one because I hate to think they all act like these two do. And here are all the clips that I sent him, people, yesterday of Maria dragging Johnny Mac's wife. He wanted proof. He got proof. And I'll play a little bit more of one.
Is there a password monkey too? Because trust me, if there's something going on with my husband and another woman, I ain't gonna forget or forgive. He's never gonna be talking to her again. Is there a password monkey too?
Now, monkey. You'll have to take that up with the great Maria. That is so great that she's in his chat and he's saying, Maria, can you check that out for me? They deserve each other, people. But I'm telling you right now, if you're in his chat, you need to tell him about this live today and ask him what happened to all those emails and the screenshot of Sophie's husband that she was asking somebody else to post because she didn't have the nerve to post it. The best thing I got from that person was meeting Terry Time. They deserve each other. I know. And actually he had never settled the ungrateful shit I had going on with him over those dog cash apps I gave him. But I gave him another chance, but I was never friends with him. I never really hung in his chat that much. I don't hang in anybody's chat that much because I'm a solo. I'm team Terry Time. And I will go on Rolex's panel anytime he asks me. I'm there for Rolex. Absolutely there for Rolex. And Joey said he was sleeping in. Then ask him about the monkey. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of clips. And if any of you want them, send me your email and I'll send every one of those clips to you. And I will send you the I don't know if I'll send you the screenshot because that's got stuff about Sophie's husband on and I'm not going to spread shit about him. But that's what she sent it to a person and said, can you post this? Because I don't really want to. So the person sent it to me. And don't ever think, people, that I don't find out everything that's going on because I do, because people can trust me. But since he wanted to say the shoe didn't fit and wanted to act like that, then guess what? He came up against the wrong person because I back up what I say. And it took my informant. She had to go back. I didn't know if it was 5 days ago or 4 days ago when she did that video dragging Mac's wife. And he wouldn't listen to me. He just, oh, well, you know, she's 1 in a million. I know he was having a crazy fit over there about Brittany, wanting proof about her. Well, there's proof about Maria Pooh Stick. There's the proof. Now, what are you going to do about it? You're going to be a man and kick her to the curb, or are you going to make her because I've never heard the bitch apologize to anybody. If anybody in this chat has ever heard her apologize, please tell me, because she never apologized for posting my granddaughters for no reason whatsoever. She's never apologized to Brooke for posting Brooke's dad. She's never apologized for posting anybody's family members that she's posted. I've never heard her apologize, and if she did, it'd be worthless. So let's just hope, people, that all Cubans aren't like these two, because these are two very sorry excuses for Cubans. And please go watch Chicago's live, whether you like him, whether you don't like him. It's very informative. And I would have been on the show with him this Sunday, but I do not know that much about MRE. I never watched him as MRE. I watched him as Rustin. And he was back over in the Durkeeverse. I watched him. I saw him yesterday over there. And as far as I know, he never called me a tranny. The only person I heard call me a tranny was Angel Gotti and Muscle. And Angel Gotti said she heard it from MRE. I never actually heard MRE say it. So I don't know who said it, and I don't care. I don't care who thinks I'm a tranny. Doesn't make any difference to me. So there's my other story of getting a lineup and not identifying anybody. And I have several more, and I've never called a cop, never called a wellness check, never put a family member up, nothing like that. So everybody have a wonderful Sunday. I hope Poolstick does something about this little lie he's got himself. Well, he got himself in a lie with the Cash Apps, too. I posted them with no heart on them. So if you want to get to my prison talk, I can assure you it was Maria's idea. And it'll go directly to Paul. Paul can figure out who needs it. I know he told me they're having a big Thanksgiving and a big Christmas thing where they all put in money. And I'll be talking to Paul later today and find out more about it. Thank you, Rolex and Race. Definitely a gangster story. Sorry it happened, but you're a gangster. Hey, you know what? I had the newspaper clipping, and I bet I can find it. But they didn't give my name because I wasn't 21 when it happened to me. They just said a girl was found naked outside the Circle F on Figueroa Avenue, and about the newspaper. I would love to see that newspaper guy that saved me. I would love to see him because he saved my life that night. If it wouldn't have been for him, and if he wouldn't have been enough of a man to stay there and save me and not just drive off when he seen those bikers, I know I'd have been gone, because the girls left for a reason. They left to go get that van and bring it around there and put me in it. And guess what? I still love bikers, and I still love 1%ers to this day. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. Hyena, you want to? I don't know where she is. Hyena, you're leaving me. All you get's one little dose of Hyena. If any of you want any of those links, I won't give you the screenshot because it's got Sophie's relative on it, but I would be happy to share the links with you. Bring it up in his chat if you go over there. Watch Muscle's chat. It's very, very informative. You're not going to be disappointed. So anyway, ciao, everybody. Happy Sunday. I love y'all. And thanks for so many of you showing up. Maybe I ought to try to put thumbnails up more often.